Hello everyone and welcome back to Flight Simulator at long last. It has been a fortnight and, well, a fortnight times about 10. It's been a long time since I've done Flight Sim, but we are finally back and we are finally going to be getting into some good old flying in the Cessna 172R, as you can see here. So, this is the A2A Simulations Cessna 172R. It is an absolutely beautiful aircraft, in my opinion. But, you know, it's an opinion. Anyway, great aircraft. It makes all the little squeaks and creaks that you would expect out of a 172. And it's just absolutely loaded up with features. So if I go into, I believe it is, yeah, this menu here. I hope you guys can see that. I can do so much. I can swap out the props if I want to. Like that. I can put on wheel pants. But I like them off because the airplanes I always flew didn't have them. Switch out the tires. Our planes had air tracks. Engine heater kits, I can throw those on. Flap seals, all that cool stuff. I can overhaul the entire airplane. Tells me the general condition, and it actually tracks the tack and hobs time of the airplane. As you can see right there, not even an hour yet on this airplane. It's very new to me, but it's still so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up. Is it 7? Yeah, it was 7. Okay. And there's also little checklists and all of that you can do. But we're going to just do a quick flow checklist. So first thing I'm going to do here is remove our gust lock. I'm actually going to get rid of that yoke temporarily. I'm going to go ahead and check all of our lighting and our flaps outside of the airplane, as well as our pilot heat. Drop the flaps all the way. And once those finish deploying, watching to make sure that the needle goes all the way down, we'll go ahead and walk around outside of the airplane. And we've got a strobe and a nav on that side. The taxi and landing lights are good. Strobe and a nav on that side. And our beacon is good. And that rear tail nav, it looks like a nav strobe combo actually. I've never seen that on a 172, but maybe it exists. Okay, I'll go ahead and shut off the master now. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of those off except for our beacon and nav lights. And we'll go ahead and prime up the engine. Let's actually shut the exterior door first. And this aircraft actually, it also models cabin fog and stuff. It's a really in-depth airplane. I'll actually try and model that here. Let me shut off our heat and our ventilation. Set those both to 0, and that should fog up the cabin real nice. So battery back on. I'm going to go ahead and retract the flaps real quick. Turn on the fuel pump. 1, 2. Okay, fuel pump off. And we will go ahead and start up. Just go outside the window, prop area clear. Clear prop! And we'll start up. Good and good. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's see if I can simulate some of that cabin fogging. Let me close this window here so we don't have outside ventilation. We'll see if we can't get fog going. I'll do that while I turn on all of my instruments. So I'll go ahead and get this guy first. Oops. Double tapped it. It's interesting. I wonder if the VOR does work when you have the, go ahead and test the transponder there. I wonder if the VOR does work while you have the radio off on a real airplane. That's something I've not actually tried out personally, so I wouldn't totally know. But it'd be interesting to see. I'm going to go ahead and switch this to... Oh, did we just lose that frequency? Okay. That was strange. I'm going to go 12465 for the ATIS. Go ahead and grab COM 2. Alrighty. Winds 173, so they're probably going to throw us 180. Give me just a second here to change up my sound settings. I don't know why it's not throwing sounds where they should be. There we go. Pardon that little glitch there.
Madison Airport Information Hotel, 1957 Zulu, wind 173 visibility greater than 20 miles, sky conditions, ceiling 7,500, overcast, temperature 1, dew point -4, altimeter 3006, ILS,
below 6, that's good there. Yeah, so 18's in use.
VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have hotel.
Okay.
Madison Airport
So we'll switch that. Switch back to COM 1, and I'll go ahead and redial 3545, which is the departure frequency here in Madison. 3545, 219, and 93 on the COM, and then I've got my VOR set 1086 as Madison and 111.8 as Oshkosh. We're not going up to Oshkosh. We're just going to do a quick flight over the Wanakee area. Those revs going so we don't get that low voltage annunciator. It doesn't seem like it's modeling cockpit fogging, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust this like I would normally. Get a lot of heat in here. And I'll put that yoke back on. Okay, revs are at 1,000, nice and happy. Let's go ahead and contact ground. And we're going to be going west towards Wanakee. Madison ground says 7274 hotel, ready to taxi west departure with hotel. And I'm going to mess up this tail number so much, you guys. So much. I apologize.
Hotel, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 18 using taxiway Juliet, Charlie, Alpha 4, Alpha, Alpha 1, contact tower on 119.3 when ready.
Alright, that'll be taxi 2 and hold short of runway 18 using taxiways Juliet, Charlie, Alpha 4, Alpha, and then Alpha 1, Cessna 7274 hotel. Alright, and I do have my AFD up here on my iPad. It's a little bit different because the airport actually went under some major construction recently. It's actually still under construction, so to go from Juliet to Charlie, that makes no sense because according to my current AFD, Juliet will lead me to Bravo, which will take me to Charlie. So I'm going to go south on the east ramp and connect on Charlie there, and then take Charlie across 3214 and 321, I believe, and then Charlie to Alpha, then down to Alpha 4. So that's going to be my plan of attack. Sending him the same way. So something I'm actually going to show you guys real quick before we head out here. The progressive taxi, because I'm using a updated ground text you may or may not have noticed, it does nothing. Literally nothing, which I'm okay with, actually. I was never a huge fan of progressive taxi. Like, there's so many different aids to get around. You know, you've got digital AFDs, the paper ones, so there's so many different ways to get around to where you should be going, so doesn't bother me too much. Oh, dear. Alright. Controls, check brakes. And steering. She's not a happy squeaker. Alright, checking our surroundings. We're going to hop onto this taxi while I'm in here. Make sure we don't crash into an airplane. Alright, and Charlie should be just at the end of the east ramp, so I'm thinking actually that might be Charlie just over there to the right. Because Charlie runs straight off of Wisconsin Aviation. It's Juliet and Charlie lead off of the east ramp, so we're going to hop in behind this Piper. Just do what he's doing. Follow him out, and then we'll hop on to proper. So we're gonna go over Wanakee, overfly Wanakee, and then we're gonna land at Maury in Middleton, Wisconsin. Landing in strobe lights on as we cross runways, of course. So it does look like there's an aircraft probably lined up at 18, but he could be down at the end of 32114, and we want to make sure that he does see us. And we'll do our cross check. I don't see any traffic crossing. Alright, according to that sign up there, I think we are going to be confirmed on Charlie, so that's good. Strobe landing lights come off as we cross that hold short line. Speaking of lines, I can't see the taxi line anymore. Where did you go? Yeah, so we are confirmed on Charlie. And that was Charlie to Alpha, I believe. Yeah, Charlie to Alpha 4, which is just a stub taxiway. So we're coming up to cross the active, which is 1836. Landing lights and strobe lights come back on again. Actually, that's not the active. That's 321, but still same practice. Okay, cross-check for traffic. Don't see any traffic. We'll go ahead and scoot on across. And we'll turn off our strobe and landing lights again. CRG 700 that just touched down over there. Working on getting my traffic implemented into my flight sim. I had it in FS9 and I absolutely loved it, so I'm thinking I'm going to do the same. Okay, Alpha 4 to Alpha. It's going to be to the right. We were taking 1-8, so we're going to hang a right turn here behind the Piper. We finish the turn here, we'll turn off those exterior lights that we don't need right now. So strobe lights and landing lights coming off. Come on, Piper, what are you doing? Let's scoot. Go ahead and check our nav and DME radio.
Piper, November 41564, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 18 via taxiway Golf Delta, Bravo, Charlie, Alpha 4, Alpha, Alpha 1. Contact tower on 119.3 when ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 18 to taxiway Golf Delta, Bravo, Charlie, Alpha 4, Alpha, Alpha 1.
DME checks up, not hearing anything on nav 1, which is interesting. It's definitely set for nav 1. That's alright, we'll let it go. The airplane's full of little noises, and I actually kind of do appreciate the noises that the airplane makes. It kind of adds to the feel of realism. You know, the unsuspected little jolts and jitters, but sometimes it's a little bit unsettling, but that's alright. I can just see an aircraft on approach for runway 18, so we're going to be here for just a little bit. Tower's probably going to have the Piper hold short for that aircraft, and then he'll scoot, and then if there's not another airplane behind it, we'll scoot out behind him. So that'll be the plan. And we will point out the direction of the runway into our runway. Park brake on. Up to 1800. And our mag check. Good there, I'm going to switch to the tower. Line up back behind this Piper here. I'm not sure if the Piper called yet, so we'll wait on him. World Travel 737. We'll just hold position here.
World travel 324, contact ground on 121.9er. Going to 121.9er, world travel 324.
Can't see another aircraft on approach. Just gonna wait him out. So I guess we're waiting on that World Travel 73 to get off of the runway. Actually, no, he threw him to ground point 9, so I don't know what the Piper is doing, or what the tower is doing for the Piper. I don't see another aircraft on approach out there. I guess we're going to call then, while we just sitting here. Madison Tower says a 7274 hotel, ready for departure to the west, runner 18.
Cessna 7274 Hotel, hold short, runway 18. Traffic is Piper, Archer on the runway.
Alright, and we'll hold short for the Archer Cessna 74 hotel. And I gotta remember that you can't abbreviate your tail number until the tower abbreviates your tail number first. I hope this Piper's not bugged, because he should definitely be ready to scoot. But it looks like he's just stationary. Turn off our taxi light, reduce some of the load on our battery. No idea what he is doing. Oh, that's what we were waiting on, was the, that was a Baron? I mean, there's only default airplanes, so it must have been a Baron. So waiting on that Baron to touchdown. I don't know how I didn't see him out in the distance. Interesting. Let's see if there's another, yeah, there's a Baron. Baron's on the ground. I definitely don't see any more aircraft now, so it's only be a matter of time before he throws that Archer out. West is going to be in even 1,500.
Beach 86 November, exit runway when able.
Tower really could have put that Piper to position and hold, but we'll let it go for the time being.
Beach 86 November, contact ground on 121.9er.
Hey.
Piper, November.
There goes the Piper.
X-ray cleared for takeoff. Runway 18. Departure to south approved. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 18.
He's got his
Piper,
strobe and beacon lights on.
121.9er for Beach 86.
And we'll wait on him. And I haven't heard any other communication in terms of aircraft getting cleared to land, so hopefully we'll be next in line after the Piper. Look at that hold short line flicker. We won't focus. Oh, never mind. I was going to say we won't focus on that. We'll watch the Piper leave, but there's other flickering lines out there also. So maybe not the best texture mod, but you know, you never know. Can only do so much.
Cessna 7274 Hotel, taxi to position and hold.
That'll be position and hold for Cessna 7274 Hotel. Still going to not abbreviate our tail number because we didn't get an abbreviation from any controller. Those little squeaks Not ready. Alright. Piper should be well clear. You can see him just off in the distance up there.
Cessna 727 Fort Hotel, cleared for takeoff. Runway 18 west, departure approved.
We'll be clear for takeoff. Runway 18, Cessna 727 Fort Hotel. Alright, here we go. Dialing a little more microphone as the RPMs increase. Naturally. Alright, looking for our V-speed. Here we go. Didn't check takeoff trim. Also didn't turn on the transponder. Bad pilotage on my part. Watching our V-speed. Double. Alright. Cruising out to the west now. Turn a little bit past due west. Just beyond the 2,000 foot mark. There's 2,100. And actually, you just see Wanakee Airport in the distance off of our nose. We're going to stand by on 3545 for the handoff. And I've got 1230 plugged in for Maury Airport, which is uncontrolled. Wanakee also might be uncontrolled. I'm not. Yeah, it definitely is uncontrolled. Thinking about it now, it's definitely uncontrolled. Right, just past 2,500. Bring the nose down just a hair. I'm actually going to fly this with no autopilot. I'm going to go just hands-on control. So first time trying out a dual mic setup. So you've got the one that you're hearing me primarily on, and then I've got this one over here for just I don't know, more of a stereo sort of sound. One's on my left, one's just to my right. Alright, and we'll go ahead and tune 13545. We need a Class Charlie transition. Madison approach Cessna 774 Hotel, Cessna Skyhawk, 3 miles east of 6 Papa 3 at 3,000. Request transition Charlie. Zero 015. Shoot. There it is, 0015. Copy that. We'll clear through the Charlie airspace, and that's 7 Hotel. So we're going to swing out wide to the right here and come around past Wanakee. There it is. Actually, we can bang it into the left just a little bit here. Recently went up in an airplane with cantilever wings and was a huge fan of just the, it's what seemed like a additional sense of view. All the cantilever wing is a wing without the wing strut. It uses the center spar for its strength. It doesn't have a strut. but it's definitely an interesting concept. I've flown in many airplanes that are low-wing and high-wing cantilever airplanes. Well, you can't have a... I guess you could actually have a low-wing cantilever airplane, like a biplane maybe, technically, because you got the Pratt truss structure. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I've flown in many different airplanes. T-34 Mentor among one of them. That was probably the coolest airplane I've ever flown in, but I don't know. For high wings, cantilever is definitely adds a little bit more to the feeling realism, and if you can get an airplane with retracts on it also, that'll really add to it. So we are going to be turning... Oh, we might have to start looking up for some traffic here. Yeah, I see him. Nope, that's the Vassie at Madison. What's the call? At 7,000? No, that's not us. We're at 3,300. Actually, I'm going to pull some power out. Start descending. Coming just past Wanakee with our single long runway. Neat little airport. I've never landed there, but I've flown over it before. And unfortunately, as Flight Sim does tend to do, the weather, just because it is December as of my time of recording this, thinks, oh, there's lots of snow outside. Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of snow outside. So I'm going to keep descending to 2,500. So we're going to swing just shy of 1.8, and then we're going to land at Maury. Actually, I'm going to start dialing in. It's the first time I've heard Squawk 1200. That's pretty cool. Maury should be just off to our right here. Not too far. Yeah, I can just see it off of the right there. Just above the compass, actually. Let's start leveling off here. Get our VSI back in the positive, just to snip right back on to 2,500 perfectly. I'm not trying to chase it, otherwise that's how you get into a PIO situation, where you're just chasing the VSI up and down. I want to allow some time for it to settle down. I'm going to roll in a little bit more airspeed here. Pretty significant wind. I'm back, and you can see the yoke here. I'm got a pretty consistent right bank going on at the moment. Other than that, it's not too bad. Density altitude's not terrible. Real world, as in me looking out of my window right now, it is significantly overcast. Not perfectly modeled here. The clouds are broken, but it is half past the hour, so maybe by the time the next METAR is issued at Madison, we'll see full overcast. Now, FSX real-world weather is set to update every 15 minutes. I think it pulls that... Where does it pull that from? It's not Jeppesen. I can't think of where it pulls it from. But I don't know where it would be getting weather where it updates every 15 minutes. Especially out of an aviation-based software, you would just expect a METAR updated every hour. I'm definitely grateful for the fact that it updates every 15 minutes. Because it's 4 times for every normal update that pilots would get, so. Ooh. Just a little bit of, I don't want to call it wind shear, but low pressure area. We had a small drop, but we're alright. Still keeping an eye out for Maury, and there she is. Maury's got 4 runways total, a north-south runway, which is a grass strip, and a east-west runway. We're going to be grabbing the east-west runway, just because I don't want to land on the grass strip, which would normally be covered in snow. So we're going to be grabbing runway, I believe it's 2810, so we're going to be grabbing 28. Just because it's the most convenient. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. Switch over, and we'll call in Maury. Yeah, it doesn't even give us the grass strip. That'll be full stop. Alright, we'll make the call. More traffic, Cessna 7274 hotels, 2 miles northwest, 2,500 inbound to land, runway 28 full stop. I'll turn our landing light back on. Bank out to the left, just a tad. Well within our V speed. VFE 10 is 108 knots in the 170. I'm sorry, 110 indicated on the 172R, and then full flaps is 85 and below. You can also follow the white arcs for flap speed. Actually, we're pretty high and pretty fast. So I'm going to bank out here to the east, actually. Get a rapid descent going. Put in 10 degrees of flaps. And we'll just shoot a long final. Good amount of back pressure on the stick there, maintaining our coordination. Not really. There we go. Still a little bit higher than I want us to be, but I think we can maintain, so we'll call final. We're trusting Cessna 7274 hotels on final runway 28 to land, full stop Maury. And another notch of flaps in. Actually, we'll go full flaps. So we do really want to get that airspeed down. We're fighting a good crosswind also, so that should help us slow down a little bit. It's at 60 knots right now.
Charlie 2, Niner, traffic, Cessna, November, Niner, 8625, taking out runway 10, departure to the south.
We're going to go around. Yeah, we're going to go around. We're trusting Cessna 7274 hotels go around. Yeah, I didn't like that setup, so we're going to go ahead and go around. He's actually landing 1-0. Or taking off 1-0, so maybe we'll do the same. It does fit the wind profile a little bit better, but I prefer to come in on 2-8 personally. Whenever I do land there, I prefer 2-8. Taking off doesn't really make a difference. So we'll grab a 1-0. And more traffic. Cessna 7274 hotels a mile west at about 1500. I'm about to land runway 10, Maury. Go ahead and shoot a parabolic base. Put in our 10 degrees of flaps. Looking. Airfield established. We'll go ahead and call our final here, even though it's technically a base leg. More traffic, Cessna 7274 hotels on final runway 10 to land, full stop, Maury. Check the runway, make sure it's clear of that aircraft we saw earlier. I don't have a visual on that aircraft on the runway, so we'll assume he is clear. Keep an eye on the runway as we make our approach. Final 10 degrees of flaps in. Not 10 degrees, but flaps full, rather. And engine at full idle. Coming in just in the green arc. About 55 knots or so. Don't remember VSO in this airplane, but we'll try and not get close to it. Oh boy. I think we'll be fine. We're still under that critical angle of attack of the wing, so as long as we keep the nose pushed down until just before we touch down, we should be okay. Alright, yeah, we just gained a lot of airspeed. So let's go ahead and slip the airplane out just a little bit, or a lot. We'll do a lot. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Not the smoothest landing, but as I've always said, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Alright. Alrighty. Deconfiguring there. We'll leave the taxi or the landing and strobe lights on until we're clear of the runway. Bring the RPMs back up to 1,000. And we're going to taxi straight into the FBO right there. Gentle right-hand turn. Looks like there's another 172, a standard 172. With this, is that the door open? Or maybe it's just not modeled from this far away. It looks like the door's open. Alright, crossing Alpha. We'll stand by to call clear. Check empennage clear. And more traffic. 7274 Hotel is clear of the runway. Alright, landing lights and strobes off. Turn off the taxi also, we don't really need it. Let us go park up on the other side of this 172 here. The door was not open, it's just a modeling defect, if you will. Checking, because we are crossing lines here. And almost ready to pull it up right here. Oh, just overshot it, just barely. Alright, let's go ahead and shut down, put on the parking brake until we get all chalked up. Nav lights coming off. Fuel pump should have been off a while ago. Pilot heat off. Avionics. Let's go ahead and shut off all of our instruments, actually. I'm going to reset the transponder to 1200. Transponder actually should have come off before we hit the ground, or just after we hit the ground. But it's a sim. Avionics master bus is off. Flaps are full retract. No electronics left. Let's go ahead and pull out the mixture. Nice. Mags off. Alternator and battery off. We'll reset the trim to take off for the next person to fly, which is going to be us, because this is literally our airplane. It's pretty cool. Last thing, gust lock back in place. Where you go there. We'll turn the yoke back on for simulation's sake. And hop on onto the airplane. So that's going to be our first flight in a long time, you guys complete. Thank you guys so much for coming along. And thank you even more for waiting around for me to get Windows 10 straightened out. It's still not full flex, full force, whatever you want to call it, but it's workable. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully there's a lot more Flight Sim to come, and I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, take it easy.